Truth is the most important thing. Truth to have within yourself. See, I come from a place of not... Okay, I was like, yo, something else happened? I come from a place of not chasing a number. Because when people come up to me after they finish their 60 days of insanity or whatever workout program it is and say, I'm so happy I lost 40 pounds. And my first question to them is, well, how do you feel? Because if you're chasing a number, whether it's in your body or whether it's in your bank account, then guess what? You're losing sight on all the things that you can build as you go along the way. Success happens in the smallest steps possible. There's no way I can get to there if I didn't take steps. And so some people can say, well, maybe you can jump. But guess what? Even the world record holder in the long jump has to take many steps in order to get them to leap forward and to leap beyond. And so the first thing, the reason why I told you I hate working out is because you need to trust where I came from. And where I came from was a place, and I'm going to bore you a little bit with my story first, so that you understand that I'm not the fitness guy that's like, I know it all, I have it all, like I was an athlete all my life. No. This is about making yourself matter. This entire journey that you're on is about making yourself matter. And the byproduct of making you matter is making your money matter. Because you don't want dirty money, do you? And the only way the money is going to be clean is if you're clean in your soul. If you trust and believe in who you are and where you came from. And the message that you're delivering through the money is clear, so that when people purchase a product or invest in you, they know that it's true. Trust and believe from the beginning, you have to have clean in your soul. So the first time, I had two experiences where I realized that money mattered. And so before I even understood what money was, the only thing I can remember is my mother, my brother, and I, and my step-monster, and I'll tell you why I call him my step-monster in a little bit, lived in a one-bedroom apartment. I remember taking baths in the sink. I remember looking out my window and seeing a real-life fight club. Yes, one time the step-monster was outside in a fight with the neighbor, bloody as all get out, came in, washed his face back off, went out to fight some more. This is my life. I wake up in the morning, we would go out to the car. We would spend 30 minutes in the freezing cold in Philadelphia, my mom trying to start the car. One of the doors didn't even open. But I didn't know it was about money. I just knew that something felt weird. Something didn't feel right. And so, as we go on, and as I move on in my life, and as my mom is trying to push forward, and we're on food stamps, on welfare, I see kids getting clothes. I see kids getting new shoes, and guess what? I have holes in my shoes, but I know that I'm loved. So the money, I was like, okay, I didn't really get it. I just know that people have more stuff. But here's when things changed for me. One day, one Saturday morning, I woke up at my grandparents' house. I was young. My grandfather said, hey, spend the day with me. I was like, cool, let's go. Love my grandfather, he's the best ever, the best. He was a pastor, didn't know what he was talking about when he was on the pulpit, but he was the best. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm fine. He said, hey, jump in the car. We get in the car, we get in the station wagon. We drive to a farmer's market, not too far from our house. We get out the farmer's market, and I have to paint the picture for you. I live in a black neighborhood, not very wealthy, just getting by. We drive to a farmer's market in a very wealthy neighborhood, in a white neighborhood, where we pull in, my grandfather gets out, and all these white people are like, hey, Mr. Dawson, how are you? And I'm like, wait, you guys are happy to see him? And so then things started to change. So we get out the car, and they start giving my grandfather all this bread. My grandfather says, come on, Shaun, let's throw the bread in the car. Throw the bread in the back of the station wagon. And then he says, yo, here's some corn. All right, cool. So now we throwing a whole bunch of ears of corn in the back of the station wagon. They're so happy that he's taking this. I'm like, people giving away food? Like, what is this about? So initially, I think we're going back home. I'm like, yo, we're about to get our grub on for like the next few weeks. Like, yes. Because here's a little story about bread. I told you I got to be transparent for a second. So we were so poor as a kid that once dinner was over, the kitchen light went out and you couldn't go back in the kitchen. But my brother and I would sneak downstairs, we would slide down the banister, tiptoe into the kitchen, jump up on the counter, open the counter, get bread, ball it up, put it in our underwear, and run back upstairs because we didn't want to be caught red-handed. Yeah, I know it's funny. But the reality is, we had to ration our food. So they cut back to my grandfather. We jump in the station wagon, I'm thinking we're going home. We go to a part of town that is even less fortunate than us. And my grandfather says, take bread and some ears of corn, knock on the door, and give it to people. So I was like, oh my goodness, we literally, I'm like, initially, I'm like, you sure you want to give this away? Because we don't even have enough food at home. But then he's like, no, here, go, boom. So each door that we open and we give the bread to these people, it was the most exciting thing to feed these people, to get these people food. They were really excited. And then my grandfather would be behind me and saying, make sure you come out to the corner at 12 o'clock. Make sure you come out to the corner at 12 o'clock. I don't know what he's saying. I'm just like, okay. So at 12 o'clock, my grandfather starts to set up his megaphone. And I just remember playing in a park across the street, and all the people we gave bread to came out. And they started listening to him speak. At first, there was really no one out there, but he was still talking. And then all these people came out, and they started listening to him speak. Now, full disclosure, I didn't realize what was happening until much later in my life. But what I realized was, it wasn't about the money. It was about how you can make people feel. And so, from that point forward, for me it was about a feeling. The second example of where I understood what the actual dollar meant. Again, I told y'all we were on food stamps. So I go to the corner store. My mom's like, get this, and this. Great, Mom, I'm gonna do it. I'm a big boy now, I can go. So I go to the store by myself. I get all the stuff, I put it on the counter, I forgot the bread. I put the food stamps on the counter with the food, I go to get the bread, I come back, the food stamps are gone. There was only one other person in that store with me, and it was an older lady. And the cashier said, I think the woman took your money. And ended up paying for the food for me because I was bawling and crying because I would have to go home and tell my mom that we can't have the food. So then I realized this is the feeling of how good you can feel when you give somebody something that they can't afford. And this is the worst feeling you can have when someone takes it away. And the common denominator of that is that I will never chase the number. Because neither one of these things came down to a number, it came down to a feeling. And that's why it is that I do what I do today. And I want to share with you 7 things that you need, you absolutely need, non-negotiable. Needs are non-negotiable things. Wants are things that give you power. Wants are things that help you create your roadmap, and they're things that you're passionate about so that they can help you succeed and move forward. Truth. You have to be truthful. Everything you do, everything you say, within yourself and to people, it has to speak the truth. Because if it's not true, and I'm going to tell you the story, and I'm not hating on anything, but I'm telling the truth here. I developed insanity. The workout comes with a t-shirt if you finish 60 days. Does anybody own that t-shirt in here, by the way? Okay, I see you. She earned it. 60 days, you earn a t-shirt. It says, I earned it on the back, you're in it. It's great. So then about 2 years later, I see an infomercial on TV, and it says, I earned it with sweat when you finish 60 days. And so many people came up to me and they were like, can you believe that this person bit off for you? I can't believe it. I said, but they ain't me. You ain't never gonna be me. And guess what? You're the only you. Nobody is ever going to be you. So, they're like, I can't believe you're not mad. I said, listen, first of all, there are going to be people who change their lives with this program, and I'm so happy for them. And second of all, it won't last more than 3 months because it's not true to who they are. Sure enough, it lasted 3 months. Not because I wanted it to fail, but because I know it's true. Secondly, trust. Do you trust in you? I have it on my arm, so I'll never forget. Do you trust who you are? I don't hear you answer me. See, y'all was like more hyped for the music, and then I asked you if you trust yourself, and you're like, woo! Do you trust yourself? Now, for those who didn't make a noise, guess what? It's okay. If you don't trust yourself at this moment, it's actually okay. It's fine, because I didn't always trust myself. There was a time where I had to say to myself, either you accept your life as it is, or you accept your responsibility to change it. And some people, at this point in your business or in your life, are at a point where you have to either accept your life as it is, or accept your responsibility to change it. Now I'm going to go a little bit dark here, but I promise there's brightness on the other side of this darkness. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping peaceful. I have my own room. It's upstairs. My brother's next door in his bedroom. Say goodnight to my mom and my brother. Fall asleep. I'm good. I hear a car in the driveway. I'm like, oh, that's a step monster coming home. That's cool, fine. He was an alcoholic, but I'm like, it's fine. He comes in the house, because when these things start to happen, anxiety starts to take over. He comes in the house. I knew there was going to be an argument. Boom. This is what normally happens. The argument ensued. Fine, great. I'm thinking like things are going to settle and things are going to be quiet. The next thing I know, as I start to find peace when this turmoil is over, is a hand on my rear end. And that first initial feeling of someone touching me, I was like, am I dreaming? But no, I'm awake. And this went on, and I'll spare you the details of what happened that night. And almost every weekend until the time I was 12 years old. From the time I was 8 to the time I was 12, I was molested. And so in this zone, when I'm going through this, my entire being is saying to myself, don't say anything to protect your family. Now, I would never tell a young child not to say anything. You absolutely tell the child to say something. But for me, at that moment, I had to say, I'm not going to become a victim of this. And I'm either going to accept it, or I'm going to accept my responsibility to change it. And then at 14 years old, I moved out of my house. I devised a plan to move, and I moved in with my grandparents. And it was amazing, and it was great. And guess what? I had to go to church 3, 4, 5, sometimes 7 times a week, but it was fine because I was in it. And then I started to trust and believe in myself. That's when I started to trust that I could make decisions. And I was only 14 years old. These are things that I would make decisions that was going to make me a much better person. And then I realized in order for me to move forward in my life, I have to have complete transparency. And that's number 3. Truth, trust, and transparency. If you can't look into the mirror and talk to yourself and tell yourself the truth, if you can't look at a client and be completely transparent, the things that will happen is transparency is going to be revealed eventually at some point. So you have to be transparent in who you are. The next thing, and this is the most amazing thing, this is actually a superpower that we all have, but most people look at it in a negative light. But this is biggest superpowers you'll ever have. If you can be selfish. Most of the time when people say, oh my God, he's selfish, or oh my God, she's selfish, guess what? They're talking about a negative thing, but you need to be selfish. You need to be positively selfish in your own time. So a lot of people meditate, a lot of people, find peace within themselves throughout the day. For me, I find time to be selfish. And that's selfish with my health, fitness, my nutrition, my diet, all of that stuff. But more importantly, you have to be selfish about accepting who you are. So, one of the things I noticed over the years is I have a lot of conversations that are purely about, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me, or something negative over here is going on. And you rarely hear about all of the exciting things and people saying, yo, I'm like really good at this. Like I'm really fucking amazing at this. Because it's always looked at as something really, really bad. So I have an exercise that I want us to do so that you can get in the zone of being selfish and positively selfish. Not saying if I got food and you hungry too, I'm not giving it to you. That's not the kind of selfish I'm talking about. Because that's just mean. I'm talking about the kind of selfish that will fill your soul so that when you walk out of the house that day, you can literally feel like you're walking down a runway at a fashion show and feel strong and empowered and feel confident. Because nothing looks as good as confidence feels. And confidence starts with you. So, this is what we're going to do. Has anyone in here ever been told that they're selfish?
Yep.
How did that feel? Felt guilty about it. Well, now you're about to be selfish and you're going to feel really good about it. Okay? So I want you to look at the person next to you. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Don't go too far with this. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to talk to each other, to tell each other, like, what is amazing about you? Because self-love is way too important for us to brush it over. So 3, 2, 1, go. You can tell me since nobody's there.
Well, be selfish. Like, what is amazing about yourself, basically? Like, feel good about what you bring to the world.
This is exciting. Louder, come on.
Like, I have no problem promoting the fact that I'm a health and fitness nut to a fault sometimes. Everybody's like, man, you just can talk all the time. Like, I gotta set that example. Somebody's gotta put themselves up there.
Louder, come on, celebrate your greatness, people.
That's it. We gotta own it, man. We gotta own it. We're trying to help others.
And 5, 4,
Quiet people
3,
don't make changes.
2, 1. If you've done our workouts, that probably gives you anxiety, but I'm not here to cause you anxiety. I'm here to cause you to have greatness. All right, cool. So being selfish. So what you just did to someone else, which is sometimes really hard to talk about yourself to someone else. In the morning, this is really the selfish mindset in a positive form is really for you. And here's what I promise you. If you find time to look in the mirror and talk to yourself every single day, and that might sound weird as hell, but before you leave your house and you talk to yourself and you motivate yourself, every single day, that's 365 conversations that you'll have of positivity in your life. And it didn't come from anybody else but you. It started from the core of who you are. It came from where you believe who you are. Because a lot of times we get it from the outside and it affects us in a negative way. And it's going to happen, like so it's going to happen. But what if 365 days a year you had a conversation with yourself that's going to make you go out there and slay the game? Because I had a conversation with a gentleman one time. I was helping him build his business, and I said, what's the first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning? And he said, I think about how I'm going to eliminate the chaos. And I said, oh, so your day is filled with chaos then. Your day is completely filled with chaos. I'm like, so you're fearing that something is going to happen, which we all know is false evidence appearing real. But by having that conversation with yourself, being selfish and being completely positive with who you are, you can change the game before you even walk into the office, or before you even talk to the person that you need to talk to, you take control of what it is that you need to happen. And it starts with you being positively selfish. The next thing, and this is my favorite thing, flexibility. And I'm not talking about like high kicks. Even though if these jeans buttons are so tight, I'm sure. Being flexible. Like, it's not always going to happen the way you want it to happen. And if you literally think you're going to create a roadmap where there's not going to be roads that are going to, like, maybe have a twist and turn, or a street that you're going to have to go down to learn something new in order to come back and get on track, then you are sadly mistaken. You have to be so flexible. You have to go into every situation knowing that while you have a goal, there's a such thing that it could possibly change. You might disagree with me when I tell you this, but if you have a goal of saying, I'm going to make it to the Olympics, or here's a fun little goal, here's a fun little story. So, for Valentine's Day 2011, I got the present of a tennis lesson. And I fell in love with tennis. Like, it was like the most, I was like, oh my gosh. And I used to make fun of it as a kid. I was like, who the hell wants to hit a ball back and forth? Like, what is this? You know, I played football, I ran track, I'm like, you want to hit a ball? But I got this tennis lesson, and I fell in love with it. And so I started taking lessons. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so good at this. I'm going to be so amazing. And so we're driving in a car. Me and my husband are driving in a car. Scott, don't get mad at me for telling this story. He's back there, but it is what it is. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to hit like a pro one day. And he was like, you'll never hit like a pro. Now, I need to preface this by saying he is my biggest fan, so don't worry about, like, he's not me. But he's like, oh, you never hit like a pro. Like, do you know how long they work to do that? And I was like, do you know who you're talking to? Because clearly you don't know who you're talking to, right? And I was so mad, like I was so mad. And I held this grudge for like 3 years, y'all. Like, it's so bad. And I don't even like holding grudges, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna show him. But here's what happened. First of all, I do hit like a pro now, but that's unimportant. That's not the important part. Here's the important part. Here's the most amazing thing that happened. Not only did it make me strive, and I had this goal to do this, but it wasn't about reaching a goal of hitting like a pro, because hitting like a pro means nothing. It's nothing compared to what I actually gained from having that goal. Now, I'm really good friends with Serena Williams, who is a big inspiration of mine. I'm training mentally and physically Bethany Maddox-Sands, who is the #1 doubles player in the world, or #2 now, and her partner, Lucy. And I get to train with their coach, but it's all for my drive to continue to never give up. And to say that even though the goal is there, you might not reach that goal per se. But what you're doing as you go along the journey, other things could happen. So you have to be flexible and understand that being flexible is all about inviting everything in that could possibly come in. Never, ever, ever not take a meeting with somebody. Even if you think it's the biggest BS. Because if you have the time, you will learn something. And maybe you may not get into a business venture with that person, but you will learn something. Be flexible in your brain. And with being flexible comes with uncomfortability. Sometimes you have to be and get put in uncomfortable situations. And you should put yourself in an uncomfortable situation every single day. Every day. You should feel absolutely uncomfortable. And I'm about to put you in an uncomfortable situation right now. I just need some volunteers. Hey, sir. Right here. Come on up here. Oh, you're coming up here. Anybody? I'll take him, whoever you're pointing at. I'll take you, come on up. I'll take you. How many is that? 1, 2. Where we at? We got 1. Christian, we do have the same bar. What's up, Michael? How are you? What's up, Shane? We got our 5. Perfect. Come on up. What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, you can both keep going. I'll make it work. Trying to think of uncomfortable leads into the next thing that's very important, is us taking action. You have to take an action step every day, because in business, and as I was building my business, what I realized is you can get stuck in the same conversation and trying to do the same thing day in and day out, and you never move on. So you have to take a different action every single day in order for you to keep taking steps, those small steps to be successful. You guys can spread out. You can do this, like gym class. All right, face front. So I'm going to ask you something that you do every single day that you take action to achieve your goals. Right. Stand up, y'all. Push your chairs in. Now you might not pray, but you might meditate, or you might think, whatever prayer means to you. Okay? So I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. You go 1. Take your feet apart. 5, 6, 7, left foot, and 1. 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. All right, I love it. What do you do every day? Wake up. Hey, wake up. All right. So I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to pray and wake up. Hey, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's pray, wake. Look at that. Hey, I love it. What do you do every single day to take action towards your goals? Full showers. Ooh, okay. Full showers every day. That's the first. Here we go. 5, 6. Watch this. You're gonna go. Pray, wake up, shimmer down. And y'all better do it too. You're getting uncomfortable right now. I told you. We're getting uncomfortable. So here we go. 5, 6, 7. Pray and wake up, shower down. Yes. Give me 2. Come all the way through. All right. Here we go. I know we're praying, but I curse, so I'm sorry. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, pray it out, wake up and shower and shimmer down. Hey, I love this. All right, here we go. What do you do every day? He brushes his teeth every single day. So we're going to pray, wake up, cold shower, and brush. Y'all better brush it. So as you brush, you got to start to bend your knees a little bit low. 5, 6, let's just brush our teeth. Brush your teeth and get a little bit low. 5, 6, and do it again. Brush your teeth and get a little bit low. I love it. Here we go. We're going to start from the prayer. 5, 6, 7, and pray. Wake up, cold shower, brush the teeth. I know we got to, wake up, cold shower. No. Okay, so pray, wake up, cold shower, and brush. All right, that's what it is. 5, 6, you gotta pray. Wake up, cold, shower, hair, and brush. Get it low, get it low. I love this so much. What do you do every day to take action towards your goals?
I speak to at least 2 new people.
Ooh, cool. Okay, all right, I got this. So, we're gonna pray, wake up, and cold, shower, and brush. And then I'm gonna speak to 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, 1, 2. All right, ready? And 5, 6. It's time to pray. Wake up, full shower. Brush your teeth. Ready and speak to 2 people and speak. Yes, come on. What do you do every single day to get to take action toward your goals? Exercise. Snap. Yeah. All right, I got it. Here we go. So, we're going to pray. Wake up, take a cold shower, and 4 brushes, only 4, ready? Here we go. And then we go, pour out, speak, here, and then exercise and step, flex, baby. All right. So you got abs and flex. You know some of y'all like the flex. Here we go. So 5. So you got left knee, right knee, step, and flex. 5, 6. Left knee, right knee, step, and flex. Hey, 5, 6, 7. And again, you got left knee, right knee, step, and flex. All right, we're going to put all this together. Here we go. All right, here we go. 5, 6. Ready and pray. Wake up, cold shower, brush the teeth. like here. Speak the 2 and speak, lift the knee and flex it out right here. Boom, yes!
Woo!
Yes, yes, and yes. So, if every day you pray, you have to be awoke. You take a cold shower to kind of brush it off. Brush your teeth so your ass don't smell, right? And then you speak to 2 people. It's like, what's up? Making connections, and then you exercise for your body, and then you work through the flex, and you can flex your power. Here we go. 5, 6, pray it out here. Wake up, cold shower down, and teeth. Yes, speak to 2 people. 1, 2, lift the left knee, right knee, and flex it out. Boom. Yes, can I get some music? Turn it up, y'all. Turn it up, y'all. Turn it up. Come on, y'all. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Keep rocking. So if every day you take steps, you get uncomfortable, and you do something in your life that pushes you forward, there's nothing that can stop you, and you can do it together. Get ready. Here we go. 5, 6. Pray it out. Wake up. Cold shower. Brush teeth. Hey. Bring the 2 people at home. Get the left knee, right knee. Flex it out right here. Oh, come on, come on. Let's do it again. It's 5, 6. Here we go. 5, 6. Pray it out. Wake up. Shower. Brush teeth. Hey. Bring the 2 people. Get left knee, right knee. Flex it out. Yes. Come on. Here we go. One more time. 5, 6, 5. Pray it out. Wake up. Shower. Brush your teeth. Hey. Speak to 2 people. Left knee, right knee. Exercise. Flex it out. And here. You got the music. All right. Listen. You can sit down for a second. Only for a second. So here it is. Part of taking action is taking action towards something that's going to benefit you every single day. And you do it. The next rule I have, which I will never falter from, is you do it. Come in close, guys. Around her. Come in close around her. Have you ever get close to her, come on. Touch her on your shoulders, don't be cute. Now imagine, if you every day, you prayed that you had someone in your life that could wake up and help you wake up, and they brushed their teeth. Cold shower, sorry. They take a cold shower to get rid of the angst, right? You have somebody to brush their teeth. Good hygiene is always important, but you always have somebody out there that wanted to make connections to you and to everyone else, to be connected, and someone that could get their body physically fit. You are the average of the 5 closest people to you, people. That's your average. If you literally write down who are the 5 closest people to me, and you think about how impactful and empowered your day is, or the other side, which how much does your day suck? Here's what I can promise you. No matter what you're going through in your life, if she's down, she got somebody that's going to help her wake up. She has somebody that's going to brush off and shower off the anxiety. She has someone that's going to talk and have good hygiene. She has someone that's going to connect with her still. And she has someone that's going to help her lift up her physical self. So who is around you? Because I learned the hard way. Because if this was someone that said, what do you do when you wake up? Well, I like to take things. Well, guess what? And what if he says, you know, I don't really feel like talking to anybody. This is a person who works with you, who's the closest to you, but they don't feel like talking to anybody, they just feel like, sorry. And if the person stinks, then you know that's not right. And what if he liked to take scalding showers? And what if he wanted to stay asleep? then all you have left is prayer. But if these people, come back to her for a second, guys. If you are empowered by the people around you, the actions that you take will be multiplied times 5. So take action for what it is that you want. And I have one more step for you guys. But before we leave, we got to dance again. Turn on the music! Turn it on, turn it on. Get up, y'all, come on, this is it. Hey, hey! So, as you see, in business and in your life, it's not always going to be happy, but it's not always going to be down. But if you surround yourself with good people and good things, that's when it can happen. The last step is go bananas. You know how in my workouts I'm saying this shit is bananas, yo, because it's so hard and so crazy. But you know what? It is bananas. Go as hard as you can possibly go. Go as hard as you can possibly go, and make sure no one ever tells you no. When I was 8 years old, I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I think I was probably less than 8. I said, Mom, can I be a ballerina? She said, oh, little boys don't dance. Mind you, she's my biggest fan now, so. She said, little boys don't dance. I said, oh. But in my head, I'm like, oh, but every time I watch ESPN, there's people dance. So, okay, I got you. 19 years old, after I gained weight and lost weight, it's a whole nother story. I went to the rec center in my school and I said, can I teach a dance class? The director said, do you have any experience in teaching? No, but a bitch can dance, trust and believe. So, she said, I ain't say that. But she was like, sure. So I went to everyone I knew on campus, everybody. I said, y'all need to come to my class, you need to come to my class. Now mind you, I'm freaking out, because I'm like, I never taught a dance class before, I've only been in the middle of a circle. So, that is a lot. So, 90 people show up to my first class. And then so, the director comes in, she says, we only have capacity for 60. You have to teach 2. Classes back to back. So thank God for the grind workout and Eric Nice. I don't know if y'all remember that, that's old school. The MTV grind workout, I had a routine. But I fell in love with dancing. And then I started teaching in the community, and then I had a minor in theater dance. I remember my mom telling me no, and I said, okay, we'll see. Mind you, my mom would come to my class. You know, you get it. So then, I'm dating someone, I make it big in the Jersey dance scene, and I have the biggest show of my life. Jersey. The biggest show of my life. I get home, and the person I was dating said, I don't know why you're getting excited, you'll never be a professional dancer. Oh, okay. Next morning, yo, Ennis is my brother. You need to come help me move tomorrow morning. I left some good shit there, and I'm right? Cool. 2 years later, I was on stage with Mariah Carey. The same dance agency that hooked me up with Mariah Carey, I went to them and I got this opportunity to make a dance program with Beachbody called Hip Hop Abs. Right? No. So I take my contract. I said, I run into the agency. I'm like, oh my God, guys, like I got this amazing thing. Like I can create an infomercial. And I'm so excited. I was like, I can't wait. They were like, oh, these things never work. I was like, oh. So I'm walking out and I'm like, oh, so if I help change one person's life, if I just help change one person's life, if that's what this is for, I'm really excited. The byproduct and a bonus of that was that the money that I made, they didn't get a piece of. So, but moving on, staying from the core of who I am, I developed Hip Hop Ads. Hip Hop Ads is #1 infomercial 8 months in a row. I'm not bragging, but listen to me. So, a man who I love dearly called, I love him, I tell this story all the time so he won't get mad. They were looking for a guy to do a really intense, tough workout. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, yo, I can do this, like I can do this. And he's like, you're just a dance guy. I was like, okay. And then I created Insanity. And here it is. I've sold over $1 billion in products, but I remain that 8-year-old boy that just wanted to dance. Because it's not about your body. It's not about the fitness. It's about the feeling that you possess when you go after something that you want. And don't let anyone ever tell you no, because trust and believe, while it might not be the thing that you eventually get, it's going to be something. And that something is going to be so freaking amazing. So trust who you are. Be true to who you are. Be 100% transparent to who you are, and be positively selfish so that you can become flexible in your body and in your life. And if you get uncomfortable and take action, you will go fucking bananas and your business will be the motherfucking shit. So trust and believe and do it.
What y'all know about that? This is my favorite part.
I know it's your favorite part. I know it's your favorite part.
I was only practicing.